Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am a Faewin, and the last time I was here, I showed you guys an unboxing of my new Apocrypha. Okay, so I'm actually going to show you my update, but before that I want to give you a little background. So if you've seen my other ones, you'll remember this little bugger, okay? With my old stuff in it, blah, blah, blah. Yay, fun stuff, right? Okay, so basically, after I broke the binding on it, which if you watched my last Apocrypha update, you'll know everything about. I kind of thought about it, and I was like, you know what? First of all, and you guys can see, like, the string is coming loose. It's not going to stay, and it's just not it's not necessarily the best setup, right? So I thought, you know what? I can stitch together signatures. I can make my own book. The thing that I'm not sure about is making my own cover. So this was used to recreate the pages that were already in here, but I ordered a brand new cover and I created my own signatures to go in it. Okay, so let's take a look at that real quick. I'm going to show you this more in depth in a minute. But my cover, if you didn't see it in the unboxing, is really pretty. I asked her to make it look kind of like a geode on the inside. So on the outside, it's like the rough side. If you know what I mean, like it's not like it's just like the outside. You can't necessarily tell what's in it. Then you open it and it's beautiful, right? So I love it. So I actually have 2 volumes in here right now, and you can see how thick they are. And I'm not even done with volume 2. I do only have like a few more pages to go till I'm done. But just having the 2 volumes in there, this thing is full. I mean, I'm sure I can fit more in it, but yeah, it's already thick, okay? So let me just show you here in a minute. Take this out. Okay, so this is one of my volumes. You can see I did actually take thread and stitch them together. That's the inside, so you can see I've stitched them together. So these are my signatures. I ordered this paper, I ordered it in A4, and I'm in the US. So if you're in the US, you may know how difficult it is to get any paper other than like the size papers that we have here. So you know, we can get letter and legal and tabloid and stuff, but I wanted A5. So A4 is double the size of A5. So I got A4 so I could fold it in half, make signatures that were A5 size, because that's the size that I ordered in my cover. So I do have some in here, like the black is actually letter size, so that's why you can tell like it's smaller here and it's slightly taller, whatever, but it's supposed to be kind of a junk journal style, so it's okay if I put some letter size stuff in there because it's gonna work out. It'll be fine, right? So that's how we did that. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a flip through here and just kind of show you what it looks like on the inside, and we'll get right to it. Alright, so here's my Apocrypha. I have a pen holder here, which is pretty cool. I have these straps that keep it closed. Something that I didn't show when I was taking a look at the book, but I wanted to show, was that if you'll remember from this book, I had little bookmarks that hung down. Well, I took them off, and Nicole of Crazy Organized, who made my cover, actually created these bookmarks for me. And she put a little clip on them so that I could put the bookmarks, the charms that I had already bought on there. So I've got, you know, this little cute, I think it's an agate probably, but it's a little geode agate on the green one for earth. I've got a little feather for air. I've got a little lava rock for fire. And I've got a mermaid. Let's see if I can get it better. Yep, a mermaid for water. And it doesn't matter how you flip her, you're always looking at her back. I guess they didn't want to put boobies in there. Anyway. All right. So I am going to take the straps off this, and then we will get right into it. All right, straps are off. Let's open her up. So this is volume 1, and I actually took this pocket. I actually took it carefully out of the other book and put it in this one, so I still have my name sigil. I actually wrote out my book blessing this time, and I changed it a little bit so that it actually fit me a little bit better. I still have 13 Goals of a Witch in here. I still have my Wheel of the Year, which I changed a little bit. Same concept, but just different papers. Let's see if I can get in here, because some of these I tried to go over it. There we go. I tried to go over it to protect it, with gesso, not gesso, but Mod Podge, and it makes the pages stick together. So I learned from that, and I don't do that later on. So this is, of course, just the last line of the read, right? And then, as you can see, I did an abridged read. So I basically took out the parts that don't really apply to me and my practice. You can see it's quite a bit shorter. And then, of course, I have the elements and directions. I have earth. And I found these 4, you'll see as I go on, I liked them better than the ones that I had in my other books. So I did those. I've got time, the zodiac signs, the season, all that kind of stuff in there. There's air. And I loved this picture from my last one, so I had to find it again. I also have fire in here, directed will and action. Water, which I love that picture. And then my elemental circle. And then spirit. So then I actually did my sigils page next. And this is a little pocket. So I have this sigil. I'm in control of my success. I have this grid. I have my Hurricane Dorian one. I have this, and I have this grid. So instead of trying to put the grids on the page this time, I actually just printed them out on cardstock style paper and put them in the little pocket with the other sigils that I'd created. So I can go and look at them. So then I have color correspondences, which I actually like how this page turned out better than the other one that was already in my other book. My dream, which I also like how it turned out better than was in my other book. Here's the centering and grounding. There is another one in there. Oh, there we go. The 7 chakras. And then I did the triple goddess as a full spread. So this is like pictures and stuff for the triple goddess. And then if you lift this up, that's how I talk about the triple goddess. This is the middle of this book, hence a charm. And this is, of course, the phases of the moon. I've got my phases in here, and I've written like waxing and waning, and full moon and new moon, and gibbous and crescent, so I remember. And then I talk about the different types. Oh dear, I need to glue that. Fun. Okay, so my Cascaria page, I actually stole this pocket from my other book, which is why it's so small. But they fit in that pocket, so I knew they would fit in that pocket. And then, of course, my recipe for it. Talk about mirror magic, which was in my other book. This manifestation spell was in my other book, but this time I just did it a little bit differently. So it's on a couple of different, I think one of these is like how it turned out. This is like talking about when I performed the spell at Ostara. This is the actual spell, and then I actually do like an optional last step in there, which I did actually use, but I said optional because I ran out of space. That's actually why I used it. Oh, okay. Then, of course, my rune page, and I like how this rune page turned out better than my original rune page. I have a little thing there to help me get into it. And the same thing. You know, guys, this is really hard to do on camera. Just saying. Here's my zodiac page. Okay, so I've got my birth chart. And I actually traced this, but I really like how it came out. This is the other part of that pocket from the elements, or whatever it was. Maybe not the element, no, the sigils. But I'm not using it as a pocket on this side, so I just have my zodiac, and then I have the zodiac here, and then so this is my sun sign, this is my moon sign, and this is my ascendant. I've got a little blurb on tarot and how I use tarot and how I see tarot. I started out kind of as like a Christian witch, and I grew up Episcopalian. If any of you are familiar with the different Christian denominations, Episcopalian is like Catholic light. So this is kind of... This is my beliefs from when I first started, and I actually changed them a little bit to match what I currently believe. So I do think I could probably still call myself Episcopalian, but I don't usually. Then in this pocket, I've got some of my Episcopalian prayers. They're like to the Holy Parent instead of to like Father or something like that. Some of them are to the Holy Mother, I think. That is the next, yes. So then I love this song, Witch's Rune, and I first heard it by, God, who is that? I can't remember, but I love this song. So I put the lyrics there. I did a whole thing on chaos magic because I came across it and I didn't know what it was, and then I looked it up. And these are like the 6 principles of chaos magic, and I was like, dude, that's totally me. Like, that's what I do when it comes to magic. So, yeah. Then I talk about soft polytheism because that's also within my belief system, is soft polytheism. I am missing... Yes, I am. I totally missed a page here. Where is it? Ha! It's because it sticks together. I noticed it when I saw Celine because I thought, where's Brigid? This is my Brigid spread. So I actually switched from Frigg Freya to Brigid as my matron goddess. Every time I went to venerate Frigg, I felt Brigid calling me, and I didn't know why. So I just started looking into it, and here you go. So, sorry, let's go back to where we were. So then I also felt called a little bit by Celine, so I made a spread about Celine. And I felt since she's a moon goddess, it should obviously be black and silver. I mean, duh. I've got a little spread on blood magic. Obviously, using blood magic is a serious commitment. Like, don't do it lightly. And then I didn't really know what to do with the last 2 pages, so I made the meditation pages. I printed out pictures that I thought were calming and that I could use to like think through things, and this is a meditation page. I can open it whenever I want to meditate and just kind of like zone out looking at it. And that, my friends, is the end of volume 1. Oh my goodness. Okay, so then I had to of course start a second volume. Woohoo! So now I have a volume 2, and I decided, of course, the best way to start volume 2 would be to do the Sabbats. So I do the Sabbats all very similarly. So I started with Samhain, because that's like, it's the witch's new year. And for me, I'm like, okay, so New Year's is, yeah, it's the end of the year, but it's also the beginning of the year. So Samhain is my first Sabbat here. So I've got that. Then you'll see this opens, whoop, and you can't really tell that there's anything in there, but maybe if I can get into it. So there's that, which actually is traditions. Sorry about that. I have a picture, but on the back I put traditions. There we go. There's the other one. So here we go. I did a Samhain Dun Supper and how to do that. So we're going to actually leave those out for now. There's also a pocket up here, but it's really tight as well. So, yeah. The next one is Yule, obviously. So I've got a little blurb about Yule. I've got some pictures. And then I've got this pocket over here, which just has altar decor ideas for now. In bulk, which is obviously Brigid's traditional Sabbat. So I have a whole thing on Brigid in here, and traditions and altar ideas and all that kind of stuff. I have not done Ostara yet, obvi. I did Beltane at Beltane, actually. So we've got Beltane, and then I've got some stuff in here, like, what is that? Beltane traditions. Oh, whatever. Midsummer. And so I've got some things on Midsummer in this little pocket here. Midsummer activities and stuff. I haven't done Lughnasadh yet because we haven't gotten to it yet this year. But I will do Lughnasadh when we get to it. Same with Mabon, however you want to call it. I have also worked with Hecate in the past. So I did a spread on Hecate. Symbols and things. I did a spread on protective powders. So we've got Witch's Black Salt, Cascaria, and Red Brick Dust here. I redid my natural waters and their uses by making them little things you can actually pick up, little windows. I redid my War Oil, Water, and Vinegar spread thing. So then, of course, because it's 2020, I did a whole spread on planetary retrograde. I see retrograde a little bit differently than some people. Some people like freak the F out about planetary retrograde. They're like, oh my God, it's so horrible. So down here you'll see, I consider planetary retrograde a great time to focus on shadow work according to the planet. So it's not about everything is going to go wrong for you, at least in my path. I really liked, and this is where like the kind of Christian witch aspect comes out in my path. No good tree bears bad fruit, nor does a bad tree bear good fruit. So I don't think, if we're going to look at planets as good things, I don't see retrograde as a bad thing. So I've got each of the planets and what their retrogrades, like what they kind of rule over, so that you know when you get to retrograde what it's talking about, what it's doing. Then I have another manifestation type spell, Becoming Successful, a smoke cleanse, and all about smoke cleanses. This is my not magic spread, so I have the actual thing that a lot of people use, by knot of 1, by knots 9, and then I have a little thing about it there. This is my balancing the elements within, and I actually did this in kind of a weird way. So I've got all this here. This is materials needed. So I've got all the different elements by their color, and then what I say after that, and then what I do after that. So they're all just in here. This is a really cool page. I really like this page. This is my ideal sacred space. So obviously you can see I have a picture of, you know, kind of an ideal sacred space here. But then I also go through and I describe it the entire time. And yes, that's my hand. It is actually that hand. Then I have a tarot spread. This is the Hero's Journey. If you have heard of Carl Jung is freaking awesome. And this is a tarot spread made off of his Hero's Journey. This is another spell to banish and heal bad habits. Some materials needed and what to do. But then I also have, I really liked what I did here. So this is my recipe. And instead of writing down stuff, I did like pictures of them. And where, like, they put it in an airtight jar. And then this is what I say. It's a little, oops. And then I don't have anything on this page yet, so obviously I'm getting to the end here. But I liked the background of this page. So this is my room spray cleanse. So my husband is not a fan of the smell of sage, really. So I created a room cleanse using a spray, and I use eucalyptus, spearmint, and orange in it. And that's the end of what I have for now. So anyway, boop. Thank you all for coming along this ride with me, and I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe for more videos, and if you want to see anything specific, or if you want me to talk about anything specific, please let me know below in the comments. Thanks, guys. You're awesome.